Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. Got the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed. And I thought the phone stopped. My bad for the pause.
I did too.
But we're gonna talk a little bit about the Southern 8, talk about some MLW, and whatever else pops up in the conversation. So right off the bat, I know you don't do star ratings, but you know, like good, bad, ugly. Overall, what do you think of the Southern 8?
Probably my second favorite.
Second favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd definitely say it's in the top 7 for me.
Oh, no. That's probably my second favorite.
What was your first favorite? Just because you said it, I'm curious now.
Actually, the one Sugar Dunkerton one.
Yeah, second one. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
So for sure. We're going to give the results, give some tidbits, some things that happened, some breaking news, all that good stuff. But first round, we knew the first round matchups. A little bit of change as Joey Lynch wasn't able to make it. We did find a replacement. Found one half of the Ego Tag Team Champions in the Hot Tamale Daniel Perez. So we're excited about that. Daniel came in representing Alabama, so we actually had 2 Alabama representatives. And first round match, right off the bat, Steve Anthony, Dax Anthony. Apologize, versus Dax Anthony. And yeah, so to me, wow, great match, great way to open the tournament.
Most technical match of the tournament.
Yeah, most technical, probably most high flying.
No,
okay. What'd you think? Like, just quick thoughts. We know you said most technical, but like, anything you remember about it, or something
honestly,
you liked?
I think that's a match you could send to WCW back in the day.
Yeah,
when you would have got hired.
Oh yeah, cruiserweights.
Yeah. Because it just reminded me of Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko.
Really?
Yeah. That's
okay.
If I was going to compare it to anything, it would be it. I saw reversals I'd never seen.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Just great wrestling all around.
Yeah, I really dug it as well. Like, you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, early Ring of Honor, and it definitely felt like that to me.
Definitely.
So kudos to both those guys. It definitely, you know, all the things that was going on, building up to the tournament and the change of venues, and then, you know, show day, everything goes wrong. So everything went wrong in the cancellation. Like, once that match started and I got in that match, I was like, you know what, none of that other stuff mattered, because this is what matters.
Yeah.
So kudos for those guys for really bringing me back around, and not looking forward to Sunday, but being glad it was Saturday, because about 1 o'clock that day I was like, come on Sunday. Like, so kudos to both those guys. We saw Dax Anthony defeat Steve Anthony. I don't know how many people thought that was going to happen.
But me.
So wow, big props to Dax, and he proved that at least this night he was the better Anthony.
That's it.
Our second match, Cabana Man Dan took on Josie Quinn.
Probably my favorite brawl of the night, honestly.
Yeah. Was it because of the flip-flops?
No.
Just
because they were knocking the hell out of each other.
With flip-flops.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Even the kids got involved at one point.
Yeah, flip-flop chops were plenty. I believe Josie even threw a couple flip-flop chops.
They did, yeah.
So these guys, to me, had the toughest spot because they had to follow the first match. The first match to me was phenomenal. And those guys, they made me forget about the first match.
No, I agree. 100%.
So kudos to those guys. Unfortunately for Cabana Man Dan, flip-flop chops might have been a plenty, but they were not victorious. So Josie Quinn knocked out the victory.
Yeah, he beat every match with the reverse DDT.
Yep. Third match we got to see was Teddy King. Sorry guys,
I got it all wrote down at the house, but I didn't.
We got to see Teddy King versus Matt Kenway. Teddy being the veteran in the match, and really being that guy that, as he put it, came to Mississippi because he always heard it was the toilet bowl of the South, and he wanted to find out if it really was, and he said he has confirmed that Mississippi is indeed the toilet bowl of the South. So I don't know if that's a good thing for Teddy, but luckily we had a friend from Missouri come out, and Matt Kenway, and he defeated Teddy King. And to me, what was one of the more similar style matchups. Like,
it was.
I really dug it. I almost saw the Bombs way. Everybody knows I'm a Doink fan. We almost saw it, but unfortunately, Matt put his foot up, caught Teddy in the mouth, so I was not able to see Bombs Away. Very disappointing for me.
I'm sorry about that.
And then the fourth match, was probably the sleeper match. It was the most ego match on the show, if I had to say that. And we saw Trevor Aon take on Daniel Perez.
Yep.
And
Trevor knocked him out.
Yeah, knocked him out with his running, sliding elbow shot.
Yep.
And but I thought Daniel, he went in there. He was the replacement. He replaced Joey Lynch, and he went in there and really fought for it. He fought to show why he was there, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. Yeah. So kudos to both those guys, and kudos to Daniel for stepping up and making an impact.
Like I say, step up or step up.
Yep, that's it. Then we got title match. O'Shea Edwards, Pride champion, Styles champion. He was dual champion. Had some words with J.D. Jenkins in the past. J.D. Jenkins cashed in his Squared Circle Survival medallion to have the match, as he was not the contender because O'Shea had defeated him before, but he wanted that shot, so he cashed in his medallion, and they got his title match. And 41 seconds later, he was victorious. So he became the... JD broke a ton of records that night. I don't know how many people realize it. Fastest Pride title defense or victory. Fastest Styles victory. Youngest champion.
Okay.
Youngest Grand Slam champion. JD has held tag belt, style belt, Pride title, and the Square Circle Survivor medallion.
So he's Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, the youngest as well. There's a couple of people that have done it, but he is the youngest. So kudos to him. Our friends over at Body Slam Media said he holds the victory of the fastest match on Body Slam Media as well. So, kudos to J.D. Jenkins, and congratulations on being the new dual champion in Ego.
O'Shea, the only thing he got out of it was a beating.
He got a beating for sure. I told J.D. Jenkins it looked like 2 drive-bys and a Jenkinator. That's what it. So.
Like he got tackled by a big mule.
Yeah, it was the. I don't know if they were shoulder tackles, if they were spears. I don't know what they were, but they looked painful. So, but it was the right combination. So 41 seconds later,
pow,
bye bye O'Shea. So it led us to the semifinals, and we got Dax Anthony versus Josie Quinn. And to me, this was one of the matches. Once I realized who had progressed, I was like, this is the match I'm looking forward to. And it didn't disappoint, but I'm sure it was disappointing for Dax as he was defeated. Josie Quinn again came out victorious.
If you watch Josie, he likes to kick folks in the head a lot.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He definitely depends on that big boot a lot.
If it works, use it.
But here's your thing: if he shakes your head up and his finish is literally a reverse DDT,
yeah,
makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, they had some hard hitting kicks in that match,
yep.
Man. Jesus.
And then we saw Trevor Aon take on Matt Kenway.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good match. It was solid.
Yeah.
It didn't have all the craziness as the other matches had.
No, it was probably the most second technical match of the night.
Yep. And, man, those guys worked really hard, but Trevor didn't work hard enough as he was defeated by Matt Kenway. Kenway brung that clothesline or the lariat from Missouri, and he won both his matches with the lariat, I believe. So defeating both Teddy King and Trevor Aon.
Remind me of what's the guy's name? Used to wrestle Mike Awesome in UCW all the time.
Tanaka.
Because he'd do that spinning lariat, and he'd do the same kind.
Yeah. So it was cool, I dug it. We had 2 young guys, relatively speaking, in the business that made it to the finals of the Southern 8.
Yeah, very.
There was guys in the tournament that had more experience, but unfortunately that experience didn't work out. So, but our semi-main event match was a grudge match. It faced Team Stardust, the now dubbed Constellation, the team of Ursa Major, Alex Graves, and Joshua O'Hagan, and they took on Wes Warren, Ray Fury, and a mystery partner.
Yep. Their
mystery partner turned out to be the Renegade Joey Abel. I got to sneeze and it won't come out. Got to be the Renegade Joey Abel. Stardust was upset from things that happened earlier in the week, and added a stipulation that if Wes Warren's team could beat the Constellation get 5 minutes along with Stardust. But if they were beaten by the Constellation, Wes Warren had to join the Constellation. Stardust got beat, and beat bad. Wes Warren's team came out victorious. Wes got the victory over Ursa Major, and
You got 5 minutes.
got 5 minutes, and he made the most of it, followed by some brutal chair shots.
Well, I was going to say, now, you got to admit, at the beginning of the fight, as he's begging on his hands and knees,
He outsmarted Wes for a second.
He low-bowed the hell out of Wes and then tossed him from ring corner to ring corner.
Oh, I mean, literally threw him 12 feet across the ring.
He
like,
got more of a fight out of Stardust than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
And,
I mean, I've seen Stardust lay some licks in when it was a cheap shot, and technically it was a cheap shot that laid up to
It was
this.
a fight,
but it was a fight.
It wasn't a match.
You know, he slapped him around a little bit with his glove, and then grabbed him by the hair and literally threw him from post to post. So he was not playing when he started, but you know, one mistimed move, and it was all it took for Stardust.
And now his face is all wrapped up from the bruises that Wes Warren gave him. He looks like Dark Man or the Invisible Man.
Looks like the Invisible Man. Yeah. You can check us out on Instagram. I put a picture of that up. And, you know, is it Stardust, is it Jim Sterling, or is it the Invisible Man? Only time will tell.
The thing about Stardust is he isn't done because he's going to be on the battle royal with me this weekend.
That's right. Friday night in Hattiesburg, November the 9th. It will be for the Brewskis Cup, I believe.
Wes Warren's going to be in that match.
Yep.
Alex Graves is going to be in that match.
A lot of guys.
God.
Guys and girls. Bristol Hale will be in that match as well.
True.
But on to the finals of the Great Southern 8. Matt Kenway, Josie Quinn, these guys went at it almost before I don't know if the bell rung before they started fighting.
The bell started like 5 minutes after the match did.
Okay, and man, they were everywhere. So it was definitely a brawl. They definitely, you know, the wrestling was over, the fight was there, and Josie Quinn, 2018 Great Southern 8. Yeah, I mean it's the move proved its merit, and it definitely brought home the trophy. And third winner from Georgia. 3 out of 7 years ain't bad, you know.
No.
So Josie Quinn, Josie Quinn joins Cal Matthews, who was the first winner, and Sugar Duncan, who was the second winner. And
that'd be a cool three-way.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Cal Matthews is retired.
Yeah, okay.
So nobody retires in wrestling.
But I'm wrestling next week.
Yeah. So Great Southern 8 was a success. At least from the wrestling standpoint, and I'm looking forward to next year.
True.
So, yeah. So overall, I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So MLW, you watched that? Normally, I'm the one watching MLW. I haven't seen it yet.
This morning. Actually, I watched one match as I was getting a shower. I was more or less listening to it, and I couldn't even tell what the match was, to be honest.
Right.
With you. But the main match I watched was the 6-man tag,
which featured Mississippi's own Marko Stunt.
I thought it was funny because they actually, one point, they were talking about Marko Stunt being from Mississippi, and they go, yeah, him and Kamala. They go, could it get any different than Kamala and Marko Stunt?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's different planes for sure.
I don't know that.
I thought that was really cool.
The only way that gets weirder if Marco's related to Kamala. That's the only way.
See, he got the short end of the stick on that one, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were talking about that, and he got hit with so many damn moves. Now he did technically get 2 lung blowers.
Who was he tagging with? Who did he fight against?
He tagged with oh God, I'm so horrible with names.
ACH Rich Swan?
Yeah, ACH and Rich Swan, yeah. Against the New Heart Foundation.
Which is Teddy Hart, D.H. Smith, and Pillman Jr.
Pillman, yeah. And this is the first match I've seen of Pillman's, honestly.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I like him. He's similar to his father, but different than his father.
Yep.
So, and I think he's bigger than his dad. It looks like it.
I mean, he may be taller, but I don't think like muscular.
No, just height.
Yeah.
But I mean, I enjoyed the match. But man, they beat the hell out of that poor kid. Jesus H. Christ.
Poor Marko.
Yeah, when you hit a moonsault and they just catch you and then ram you into the pole.
Yeah, or they hit
you can't even throw your whole body at somebody.
And an assisted Canadian destroyer off somebody's head.
Yes, that was the finish. Well, no, it wasn't the finish, but I mean...
It was finished for Marko.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah, poor dude.
Represent, Marko, represent.
Well, he ought to show up in a full body cast next time he's on MLW. Because they beat the hell out of that poor
Really?
kid. Yes, it was,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
It was
That's
vicious.
MLW Fusion. You can find it on YouTube or on BN Sports, so check that out for sure.
yeah.
To me, still one of the best produced. You know, if you're just looking from like a quality of film and lighting and that kind of thing,
Yeah, I've gone out of my way to find the last three. And
I
enjoy
love
them.
it, man. It's really good stuff. So I'm definitely a big supporter of MLW.
And I watched that match you were telling me about with L.A. Park and
PCO,
Jesus,
crazy, ain't it?
two old cannons
told
beat the
you,
crap
man.
out of each other. And don't mean that in the wrong way. I mean, but they're older dudes, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, he's got to be exaggerating. So,
I mean, these
no.
guys are what, maybe 10, 15 years away from like
They're in their 50s.
yeah,
at least.
retirement age, and I mean,
Yeah,
like,
and
you know,
I mean, they killed each other.
not retirement age in wrestling, but
Jeez.
retirement age in the real world, you know.
And then Parker, he hit a hellacious spear in that match.
Yeah,
So that really blew my mind.
and like I love La Parker's look, and then I was the little bit I saw of the Masked X, who was PCO and Impact or TNA or whatever. But I was never just. If you said name your top 10 guys, they would not be my top 10 guys.
Yeah, but that match.
But those guys, they brought it, bro.
They tore
Like
each other
they brought
up.
it. So
Right.
very, very, very cool. Watch anything else? Have you seen anything else?
Very little bit of the Jewel. Crown
the
Jewel
Crown Jewel?
thing.
Did you see?
I honestly fell asleep in it.
Have you seen Triple H's chest?
Yeah, he ripped his pectoral.
Ooh,
I don't know doing what because that was a match I fell asleep in. So I
good
gotta-
gracious!
I gotta watch
It's a
it all.
rough picture floating around out
Oh yeah,
there.
he messed himself up. He was going to operation today.
Yeah,
So yeah, hope he gets better.
and the Shane McMahon won the.
I'm still confused on that because I watched the first part of the tournament. I never saw that match. Like I said, I really legitimately.
I think somebody got
fell
hurt,
asleep. Yeah. Okay.
maybe,
I don't know.
and he got added in or something. But either way, Shane McMahon won the World Cup
Yeah.
or World whatever
And Brock Lesnar won the WWE.
Universal title.
I'm just like, why?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Have somebody on TV with the belt.
Nah, that's not important. Not when you got 36 other belts. But the funniest thing to me coming out of that is somebody took a picture of Shane McMahon after he won, and like they had this little cartoon hand like picking his head up, moving it off, and then the next picture they just put Dean Ambrose's head, and it all fit. Like both, it was like interchangeable heads. It was pretty funny. So for me, that was the highlight of it, which I didn't watch it. You know, just things I've seen floating around online. But that was, to me, that was the highlight. Like literally, they just picked Shane's head up, like moved it over, and then moved Dean, and like you couldn't tell that one wasn't the other.
They
You
are
know?
built similar. I noticed that.
So I thought that was kind of funny. But I watched a little bit of Continental Wrestling Federation. I'm a big fan of that territory. And somebody, matter of fact, Travis Edgeworth on Facebook had put up a thing, and I believe it was supposed to be like Eddie Gilbert's debut. Not debut. I don't know why I put an emphasis on the T.
What the hell that was, but okay.
His debut. And I think it might have been mistitled. I don't think it was Eddie's debut. I think it was Shane Douglas's debut.
Okay.
And man, that promotion was so good. Like it was
I
phenomenal.
see stuff on YouTube every once in a while, and I'll go through it if it's somebody I recognize.
Yeah, and it had the DI Bob Carter. He one of my favorites from that promotion. But it showed him basically recruiting Private Powell, who was a wrestler named Mark Young. And I think like maybe they had a stipulation where if Mark lost a match, he had to join be the first member of the newly formed honor guard that the DI was forming. So they brought him in the ring, and he gave him boots, and he issued him boots and fatigues, and then they had him cut his hair in there right in the middle of the ring or whatever, and that was really cool. And in the comments, and I don't know if any of it's true, but they were saying that Private Powell was actually the adopted son of Chief Jay Strongbow. Said that, and again, it's the internet, so who knows if any of it's true.
Too,
but the story behind it was kind of cool, was that Mark's biological father went to prison while his mom was pregnant. And the mom told the guy in prison that she had a miscarriage, and then gave Chief Jay Stroma adopted the baby like before it was born. Like him and his wife booked it. Well, not then it wasn't.
Well, I think it was.
Yeah, no, not back then.
Okay.
But nothing was illegal back in the 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever.
Coca-Cola, cocaine.
But I just thought that was a cool little thing, a little piece of history. But if you haven't found Continental Wrestling Federation, it's not a lot out there. You have to really dig for it.
I see it every once on YouTube.
In that promo, like they were building, all the stuff I'd ever seen was always like the road to Birmingham. Well, this time they were in Mississippi. They were in Kosciuszko, and they were building to Jackson.
Did they ever make it to Birmingham?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think they ever made it. But because for 3 years it's been either they did, and it was like their big show every year, kind of how we did the Paths of Pride in the first 8 months. Our first 8 shows were all path-based shows. So maybe the road to Birmingham did eventually do it, but it happened every year. But either way, it was just really cool to me to see them not only in Kosciuszko at the same building we have ran events in, which was awesome for me, but also the fact it was like the road to Jackson, Mississippi.
Sure.
So to speak. They wouldn't call it the road to Jackson, but they were just like, upcoming in Columbus and then in Jackson, and the big show is going to be in Jackson, and it's really, really cool. So I'm a big fan of Mississippi wrestling history, and anything I can find of it. One day I'll try to make a timeline or something, but I doubt I'll ever do it because I'm lazy. But it's something I'd like to do. Maybe open like a Mississippi Wrestling Hall of Fame museum or something.
We got baseball.
But when I'm old, maybe. Ain't got nothing else to do, and just roll around in my walker when I'm like 40 because I can't walk because I took body slams on the concrete. But
you jumped in Christmas tree.
Yeah. But overall, man, Great Southern 8 was successful. Marko Stunt didn't die, so I guess he had a successful debut in MLW, and I got to catch up on some Mississippi wrestling history. So overall, it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
November the 9th, Brewski beat down. Brewski's in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's Friday night, November the 9th. November the 10th, Richland, Mississippi for the Richland Rumble. And the funny thing is, Richland Rumble doesn't have a Rumble, and Brewski's beat down has a Rumble. So, got those names a little backwards. But hey,
you can always fix that.
No, it's too late now. So, we mentioned earlier, several people are going to be in the Battle Royal for the Brewski's Cup. Several different styles. Some people may not even have a style when it comes to guys like Stardust, who uses brain power over brawn.
Hide and seek.
Yeah, he's a hide and seeker. But Bristol Hale, she'll be in the Battle Royal. Stardust will be in the Battle Royal. Wes Warren, Alex Graves.
Last time I was in a Battle Royal with a chick, that's who threw me out.
You better stay away from Bristol then. The Madman Oblivion will be in the Battle Royal. There's a guy that's going to be making his debut in Ego. I think his name is Colt Strong. Has a painted face, kind of similar to guys like Chance Prophet and the Ghost over in Georgia and a couple other places. He'll be in the Battle Royal. So really looking forward to who walks away with the Brewski's Cup. I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
So you'll probably need it since there's a girl in the tournament. In the Battle Royal.
I'm awesome. I'll win.
So I'm really curious of who's going to win.
Me too.
I really am rooting for you. You are the Madman. As far as I know, are weapons allowed in Battle Royals?
I don't know, but I might care.
Well, you're mad, so I figured you'd be doing something stupid.
I got some stuff in the back of my car.
Yeah, he's been collecting. So November the 9th, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I don't know if this has been put out there, but we'll put that out there now. Vordell Walker, J.D. Jenkins, and Brewski's. First title defense for J.D. Jenkins will be against Vordell Walker. And
feel sad for his chest.
Yeah. So we're going to find out if it was a fluke victory or not. He may have the shortest victory and the shortest title reign, because Vordell Walker is not a guy you want to play with.
No, he ain't.
I looked up some stuff for Vordell Walker. You know Vordell Walker beat up Rick Steiner? Yeah, he did. You know Vordell Walker has wrestled everybody that is anybody in professional wrestling. This guy's list of opponents, man, I think you'd run out of paper before you could write them all down. Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Delirious,
He was in our first Southern 8.
He was in the very first Southern 8. Made to the finals.
Almost won.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
he defeated
Everybody. Almost.
Bolt Brady and Blaine Rage in the first Southern 8. And unfortunately, he lost to his tag partner at the time, Kyle Matthews.
Yep.
So...
everybody looked like chopped hamburger after they got beat with. Even Kyle did, and he won the match.
And then November 10th, the big match. Great Southern 8 winner from this year, Josie Quinn, takes on last year's Great Southern 8 winner, Ray Furies. Ray Fury, not Ray Furies. I don't think he has an S on the back. But takes him. They face each other at the Richland Rumble. So 2 big matches to look forward to. Got the Battle Royal. And hey guys, see you then. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And
Sure.
see you this weekend.